Hello and welcome to the United Stand. In Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty, we had the tale of two halves. Manchester United in the first half and Manchester United in the second half. We beat Sampdoria 2-1, Mata and Mkhitaryan with the goals, but as I said, very mixed feelings as this pre-season era comes to an end and we move into what will be competitive games from at this point. Real Madrid in the Super Cup next Tuesday, and then I would call the bigger one West Ham at Old Trafford a week on Sunday. Are we ready? Well, we better be, because this is the reality. And I think you've got to be very careful. Let's start off with the first half. Matic's first game, and I want to start off as well, and I'll put a pal up on this later in top corner. Matic or Martial or Valencia as your man of the match. They're my three. We'll pick up on that in a minute and I'll explain why. But let's start off with the first half. 3-5-2, tick in the box. You know, people can be critical about Mourinho and what he brings to Manchester United with his negativity at times. But when he does things right, I think you've got to defend him. And he's done a lot right at Manchester United. So he starts with the 3-5-2. This is the formation that most of us want. This formation that I think is cheating because we're so used to the 4-3-3 static and the attackers not getting any support, that this 3-5-2, you can't move for attackers. You've got Matic holding it, Pereira and Pogba trying to be progressive, Mkhitaryan free, Lukaku up front, Valencia bombing down the right, Darmian trying down the left. That's one thing I would say. Darmian played okay tonight. I think he's a great squad player. But if we want to be successful, we've got to sort that left-back position out. And I think I maybe took my eye off the ball on this, but a lot of you have been on about it for the last few days in the live comments. And you're spot on. That left-back position is so important. I want it to be Luke Shaw's, but we can't wait till September for Luke Shaw. 15, 18 points might be available before then. I think we've got to get Perisic in, play him as a left wing-back. Even could we use Martial there? We'll talk about that in a minute. But Darmian, Blind, they don't get forward enough. Compared to what Valencia's doing down the right, Darmian and Blind can't do that down the left. But in the first half, you know, the goal itself was just like flashback. Foot loose, that's foot loose, not flashback. I think there was a film called Flashback, but I digress. So from defence, with a silly reward of a free kick for a so-called pass back, to attack and the ball in the back of the net in no time. Valencia bombing down the right, Mkhitaryan crossed over to Darmian, Darmian crossed it over, and Lukaku just misses it, but Mkhitaryan nods it home 1-0. Fast movement of the ball, and that was persistent throughout the first half. Matic coming into a United shirt. I had my concerns about Matic, and I think they will be not confirmed, but I still think it's a question mark around Matic, simply because he had a bad season 2 seasons ago, and then last season could anybody play next to Kante and look good? Look at Danny Drinkwater 2 years ago, last year rubbish. So Matic has got a lot to prove, but actually, what more could he have done tonight? There's more challenges ahead for Matic, but he's not played any pre-season games. He played tonight with players that have played 4 or 5 pre-season games and didn't look out of place. He reads the ball well, he puts his foot in well, and I said on the watch along when we go live an hour before and talk about the team news and that, I did say, when you're watching Matic, think about Carrick and Fellaini, because that's what we are replacing at the moment. We've been playing Fellaini in our midfield 3 a lot. So think about Fellaini and think about Matic, and they're worlds apart. Worlds apart. Matic reads the game well, he can pass the ball, but the big thing for me, when Fellaini gets the ball, and we saw it in the second half, Martial makes his run. By the time Fellaini's controlled it and found the pass, Martial's offside. If that's Matic, he probably doesn't take a touch. He probably passes it. But if he does take a touch, it's one bum. And I saw a lot of that in the first half. People confuse my thirst for speed in the midfield on running speed. It's not. Tony Kroos is the prime example. A lot of you have mentioned him. He's not fast, but he's quick, because he reads the game, which gives him a couple of yards, but also when he gets the ball, sometimes he won't even take a touch. It'll just be one touch pass. And I saw Matic doing that a lot. Ball from the back, one touch pass. Or if he does take control, he's controlling with one, but the other foot's already moving to pass it. Very quick move of the ball. So I was encouraged by Matic. Watch this space, let's see how he goes. If he can run the midfield on his own, and let's not forget he's just turned 29, can he still run a midfield on his own? He didn't do that last year, he had Kante with him. Can he run a midfield on his own? If he can, that frees up Pereira and Pogba to be progressive. If he can play Mkhitaryan, we've got to play the 3-5-2. I think one thing in the second half we saw. Second half then, let's talk about the second half. I think first half, sentimentality would say let's give it to Matic on his first run out for United. reality says give it to Valencia. He was an absolute beast down the right-hand side. So Valencia, for me, was the first half man of the match, with Matic a close second. I thought Mkhitaryan played as well. Second half, we all predicted it. Second half, the subs come on. He puts Carrick and Fellaini in the midfield. Forget who they play with. That's a suicide job. You know, you get picked with Fellaini and Carrick in the midfield, you're going to look rubbish. So Herrera was on a hiding to nothing, and he didn't play particularly well. Carrick is just... I love Michael Carrick. If you give him space and time, he'll pick a 40, 50 yard pass out. I saw him do one to Herrera about halfway through the half. But in the modern game, where people are tenacious, they're getting at you, it doesn't suit a declining Carrick. And he's not very quick. You put him with Fellaini, I'm not even going to say anything about Fellaini. We know Fellaini. He's got a bad first touch, it's slow, he can't pass further than 5 yards. In Fellaini's defence, as I said on the watch along, I've said it countless times, I'll never understand why Fellaini, hint here, used to play for Everton, and everyone remembers Fellaini playing well against United because he used to cause Vidic and Ferdinand loads of trouble. Big hint there. Didn't used to cause Carrick and Scholes problems. He caused Vidic and Ferdinand problems. Why? Because at Everton, he played as a number 10. We sign him for nearly 30 million, and we never really play him in the position that he's good at. You get him in the opposition's penalty box, he's a threat. You put him in the centre circle, he's a threat, but going the other way. It needs to stop. So it was a hiding to nothing for everybody else. And lo and behold, as predicted, Martial gets brought on, and Rashford did as well, in a team that's very, very static. Sampdoria just... In the first half, Sampdoria got dominated. In the second half, they looked like Barcelona for half an hour because they're just having they could have had a cigar and they're just tippy-tapping it football around slow players. Then we changed it a little up with Martial and Rashford coming on, and even Twansibi. I think from around 15 minutes left when we brought Twansibi on, it suddenly changed because we had a bit more dynamism, and I think Sampdoria made some changes and they dropped off a bit, and suddenly giving Martial the ball. Now, not every time Martial ran with the ball, sometimes there was a poor pass at the end of it, but he had a good 5 minutes, which led to the Mata goal. But the great thing about that goal for Mata is Martial had already had a couple of runs. He crossed one back and Fellaini just missed it. He crossed one back for Herrera and Herrera missed as well. But then he's running at the defence. 3 players go towards him because they know he's a threat. Pass across to Mata, ball in the back of the net. And that's the intelligent thing about Martial, and that's why for me Martial was man of the match in the second half, because yes, a lot of what he didn't go well, but what he did do is he commits. People are drawn to him like a magnet, and that creates things like Mata's position. That creates things like Herrera's chance. And I think Martial's had a very, very good pre-season tour in difficult circumstances, and those difficult circumstances are that I think Mourinho is still judging him on last season, is still uncertain, there's still this constant talk about loaning him out, and the reality is Martial can be one of the best players in European football in the next 5 years. If he's given the games, he's given the confidence, he's come back with the work ethic, I think he's doing really, really well. You think back to that goal against Real Madrid, I thought tonight he set up another goal. When he gets the ball, defences get scared, and that's why sometimes he loses it, because he'll have 3 or 4 players around him. But what he got in that last 10 to 15 minutes was quick ball into his feet where he can run at the fullback. What he gets a lot of the time is slow ball, where defences are set, he's got his back to goal, and it's very difficult for him. So I was very impressed with Martial in the second half, and I will give him a shout out because I think he gets a lot of unfair stick, and I thought he was fantastic in the second half. But overall, I think Valencia probably would be my man of the match. Richie CR's made a contribution. What did you think about Matic positional sense? Very, very good. I thought it was very, very good. Let's build on that. I mean, what my summary, I don't know what yours is in relation to this pre-season, is that I have concerns. I think we've got to use the 3-5-2. I think it's the formation that gives us so much in attack, but gives Mourinho that security in defence, because he's got 3 centre-backs, but he's also got Valencia and Darmian who become a back 5. You've got Matic in front of it to make it a back 6. But when we've got the ball, there's a lot of options with Mkhitaryan, Lukaku, Pogba, Pereira today, could be Herrera tomorrow, and then Valencia's bombing forward. If you get a left wing back with some pace, we satisfy Mourinho's thirst for a strong defence, but we also satisfy our thirst as fans for a team that's entertaining. It has to be the 3-5-2. I agree we've got to be dynamic, and sometimes we'll have to change it in game, and sometimes we'll just have to change it for a certain game. I think we've got to go with that 3-5-2, and I think there's going to be a lot of disappointment with United fans if the season starts and we go back to the boring static 4-3-3. We've got to go with the 3-5-2, and I think that gets ultimately that gets the best out of Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan could be one of the players of the season in the Premier League this year if he's given that number 10 role with freedom. Ben Lloyd, thanks for the contribution. He says, do you agree that if Martial is played up front, he will shine? I think Martial can play off Lukaku. I think he can do a really good job. I think Martial needs to play. My concern is that I don't know what our first team is. I personally think he wants to play Lingard. I don't think Lingard fits into a 3-5-2. He's not strong enough to play the wing-back roles. And then if he's not in the wing-back roles, he certainly shouldn't be playing as the support striker or in the midfield three. So a 3-5-2 doesn't give a position for Lingard. And I think Mourinho wants a position for Lingard. So that worries me about the formation. In relation to the young lads on the tour, I think it's important to mention them. No involvement for Fosu Mensah tonight. I would loan him out if Watford want him and he can play there as a wing back or a full back or hopefully a CDM and play 30 games in the Premier League. That would be fantastic for him because he's not going to play that for United this year. Twansibi, every game I'm impressed by him, but I don't think he's had enough minutes that Mourinho's going to think anything of him. I've had a contribution here from Dual Control Dude, £2. Thank you. He says, Matic was great and you need to stop being negative. I think you might be watching the video from 2 months ago when I said I didn't want to sign Matic. Like most of United support, I've not been negative about Matic at all. So I don't know what video you're watching. So thanks for the contribution, but maybe watch the right video. I thought Matic, in fact, didn't I say Matic was my second man of the match or something, and I was very impressed with him, but it's only Sampdoria. He's got to do it again and again and again, but a good early start for him. You made me throw him a point with that comment. Pereira is a difficult one. Did he grab his opportunity tonight? Probably not. Did he play as bad as Carrick and Fellaini in the second half? Nowhere near. He had a season on loan at Granada in the La Liga last year and was fantastic. Is he going to get enough games at United? And I think Mourinho's got a difficult choice because Pereira's probably going to stay, but if Pereira's going to only play a handful of games all season, that's a backward step for him. He needs to play more than that. And if Mourinho's going to use him like that, I'm very excited. If he's not, then he may as well loan him to a Premier League club and let's see what he can do in the Premier League. Because to be honest with you, Pereira needs to be involved with about 30 games this season somehow, and that should be Mourinho's quest there. Twansibi, as I said, is the difficult one. He's probably not going to be involved. And again, with Fosu Mensah, a loan might be good with him. But I've been very impressed by him. Very, very impressed. And that's it really with the youth, isn't it? Rashford is established. McTominay, I don't think will get anywhere near the team. Toby Aguda makes a contribution. It's annoying. I think Jose hates Martial. I said that in the watch-along. Mourinho just needs to accept that Martial's a player that needs an arm round his shoulder. He's not one of these run-through brick walls, strong mentality players. But that doesn't mean he's not valuable to United. I just look at him and I think he, in that second half, was the reason we got that winner. He's the only player on the pitch, flair player, who can run at players, commit players and scare players. Rashford sort of can, but not to the extent Martial can. I think people get confused by Martial because sometimes he gives the ball away. But he did give the ball away on a couple of runs, but he terrified that defence. And on 3 occasions, he set goal chances up, one of which Mata scored. So Martial was my man of the match by a long way in the second half, and he's got to be involved. And I cannot even start to discuss these constant rumours about him leaving. It makes no sense. One, he's a fantastic player, and if we let him go, it will be De Bruyne all over again for Mourinho. He cannot let him go. And 2, we haven't got enough players to even consider letting him go. He has to stay. Jared Pesserman's made a contribution. Martial is Mbappe. We got him young. He needs time. He's still very young. Is he 20 or 21? I think he's 21 in December. Very, very young. Fantastic player. Widhams, why have you been blocked on Twitter by the United Stand? Got no idea, mate. I don't control Twitter. So, nothing to do with me. Drop me a DM on Twitter and I'll try and sort it out. But I don't control the Twitter United Stand account. I have a job in the day, so I'm not on Twitter. So yeah, all in all, very, very encouraged by United tonight. I think the 3-5-2 was fantastic. I'm just watching Martial there. Really intelligent play. Commits 3 players, passes it off to Mata. Lovely little bit of play. He's a top talent. And I think United fans need to get him, get behind him. And I hope Manchester United are as well. A few people being a bit negative about the second half. As I said in the watch along again, first half we were very good. How many teams can change their team in the second half and look good? Have Liverpool got a good enough second team to come out and play against Sampdoria like that? And we weren't good, but Martial was, Mata was good, Rashford looked promising, Herrera did. That is effectively, hopefully, our second team. The concern is when Fellaini's still finding himself in the first team, or when Lingard's forcing himself into the team because we're playing a different formation to accommodate him. It's got to be 3-5-2, and in that position, in that formation, unless you're going to risk Lingard as a left wing back, which I don't know whether he's strong enough, he can't. There's no place for him in that. A final shout out. I did it on the watch along. The link is in the video description, I think. Yep. Join our Predictor League with Super Brew. The link is there. Sign up. Link is in the video description. It's bang free. There are going to be prizes throughout the season. It's a Predictor League. We've got our own United Stand Predictor League. Click the link in the video description. Sign up. Predict your scores for the opening day of the season. And let's see who comes second behind me. But no, seriously, do sign up. We'll have a good laugh with that. Good bit of banter throughout the season on the live comments. Basically, every week you just got to predict the scores for it. If you get a correct score, you get 5 points. If you get a correct results, I think you get 1 or 2 points. So link in the video description. Sign up and have a bit of a laugh with us on the United Stand. We've also got a Fantasy Premier League which we'll be promoting over the next few days as well, but that's the Predictor League. Get on it and have a go. It's going to be a good laugh. But positive, pre-season's behind us. Super Cup next Tuesday. I'm nervous, not because we're playing Real Madrid. I just think I leave this pre-season positive after the first half, happy with Matic, happy with Lukaku. I think Lindelof's coming along. He's just not as quick as Bailly was last year, but Vidic took a while as well. I'm happy with him. I'm just nervous about the next 2 games because they matter, and what formation is he going to go? Has he been flirting with us, teasing us with the 3-5-2, and he's going to go back to that 4-3-3 where the chances are limited and we're not getting to our attack quick enough? Or is he going to be brave this season and go with a formation that nobody else is using that really gets the best out of our players, both defensively and attackingly? And I hope it's the latter. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll speak to you all soon. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. We've obviously been joined by a lot of Chelsea and Liverpool fans tonight. Drop a like on the video. Get involved with the United Stand if you're new. Subscribe button. And give us your thoughts. Looking for your comments really on one, your man of the match. Give us a bit of rationale behind that. That means why it's your man of the match. And 2, your thoughts on the pre-season and what it means to you in relation to our season coming up. Are you encouraged by it? Have you got concerns? And we'll pick up a lot of those comments on tomorrow night's show as well, which is a Skype show for you to Skype in. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, Skype show. It's your chance to pick up on some of the things we've talked about tonight, because I think it's interesting now as we move to the real season. And I'll be live tomorrow morning at about 7:45 with a transfer show. It's not a pre-record tomorrow, it'll be live, so make sure you've subscribed and hit the notification bell, because it'll be live off my phone, so it'll literally go live at about 7:45. Thanks for watching, speak to you all soon, and enjoy the rest of your evening.